Hi, I'm Cole, and I'm going to be reading Ant-Man and the Incredible Suit. Scott Lang and his friends are back from their latest caper. Everyone is grumpy. For the safe they robbed had no money, just a very strange suit. Why was the silver, red, and black costume protected by a lock anyway? Scott decides to have some fun. He changes into the suit and looks at himself in the mirror. He's surprised by how good he looks. The suit fits perfectly. Scott notices a hidden red button on his sleeve. He can't help himself and decides to press it. And in that second, fluid pumps through the tubes of the suit and the transformation begins. The suit shrinks Scott down so small, so quickly, that before he knows it, he's the size of an ant. Looking up, he sees the walls of the bathtub are tall, like a mountain canyon. Scott's roommate comes into the bathroom, but he can't see his miniature friend at the bottom of the tub. Deciding he wants to take a shower, the roommate turns on the water faucet. A giant tidal wave rushes towards Scott. With a tiny leap, Scott springs high into the air. He's out of the tub, shooting past his roommate and towards the floor. Scott falls through the crack, and he passes through the floorboards and tumbles into the apartment below and lands with a tiny thud. Surprisingly, Scott is not hurt. The suit must have many incredible functions, but there's no time to wonder about what else he can do. Scott has been spotted by the neighbor's dog. With extraordinary agility, Scott dashes ahead of the huge pet and leaps up into the air. He zips around a bed, chairs, and tables. The dog can't chase him like this for long. Finally, Scott leaps up through the tiny space between the wall and door and sails to the next room. Dizzy, he lands on a grooved black surface in an area teeming with giants. The ground is spinning. Scott notices a deadly rod coming toward him. He must run to stay in front of it. He must be on an old record player. The giants must be people dancing. Scott is getting dizzier and dizzier. He must make another leap to get out of this place. He picks himself up to see he's on a new terrain, and he whips his head toward an overwhelming booming noise. An elephant machine is moving toward him, and there's no time to escape. Like a dust bunny, Scott is sucked up into the vacuum. The air currents spin around him with tornado force. Thankfully, Scott's helmet keeps him safe, and he is deposited deep into the canister with all the other small debris. He finds himself resting on a giant fluffy pellet of wind. The suction stops, and with a final clang, the lady opens the dust bag to empty it out in the trash. Scott sees his chance, and he leaps passing the lady and flying out into the street. Scott lands on the hood of his car, smashing into it. He can feel freedom and power in the suit. It's amazing to be so small, yet so strong and mighty. Being micro-sized in the suit, Scott knows that he will be in great danger from average-sized people and objects, but there are still powers that he can use to keep himself safe. Perhaps these powers can be used for more than just protecting himself. Scott jumps back up into the air towards his apartment building. He lands at his bathroom window and sneaks inside. His roommate is no longer there. Now maybe Scott can figure out how to reverse the powers. The controls of the suit must have a button that makes the suit return to a regular human size. Scott searches the sleeves and finds the red button that triggers his shrinking. On the other sleeve, he finds a blue button. He presses it, and it triggers the tubes to change the suit back into regular human size in an instant. Scott is back to normal size. Phew. His friends are still in the apartment, but Scott knows he must keep the secret of the suit's powers to himself. What will he do now that he can shrink down to the miniature size whenever he wants? How will he use his powers and his super strength and super agility whenever he chooses? Scott knows one thing: this will be fun. Bye.